how do you make money? What if you're working at McDonald's? What if you're an auto mechanic? What if you have some low paying job? What if you're making $30,000 a year or less? How can you actually become wealthy? What's up, guys? I want to tell you about a company that I've been working with for a while that's really going to be able to help you if you want to get a high paid job in coding or design. It's DEVMOUNTAIN. They're an awesome in-person coding and design bootcamp that offers housing for at no extra cost for full-time immersive students. They have a whole career services team to help with job placements. So if you are interested at all in coding or design, go click the link below and tell them I sent you. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls that you want, and how to go from the victim mindset to the bulldog mindset. If that sounds like something you are about, click that subscribe button and join us. TZ said, hey dude, I have a video topic idea. Would be great if you could do that. Could you talk about wealth creation and entrepreneurship for people not in tech? How do they do it? I know your own path was high paying tech job, entrepreneurship, starting a side business, to YouTube, real estate investing, but it seems like if you don't do the first step, the others are impossible. So when he says first step, he's saying high paying tech job. I'm just wondering, for someone not in tech making $150,000 a year as a software developer, how do they focus on building wealth? Someone working a regular 80K plus non-tech job. Thanks. Some of you just read or heard what I just said here, read what he wrote, and he said regular 80K plus job, and you're like, regular 80K? What the fuck? What kind of ridiculous world do these people live in? Some of you are thinking that, and some of you just, you're like, oh yeah, 80K job, sure, that's fine. And then some of you that are making like 150, 200,000, you're like, an 80K job is kind of a low paying job, right? You're gonna have different perspectives, okay? And I've had all of those perspectives, right? I remember working at the MCI call center doing tech support at like $9 an hour or something like that, and thinking that was great. And then I've gone up to the point where I'm at now, where a couple $100,000 a year seems like not that much to me. Let's pretend that I work at McDonald's, okay? Then I'm basically getting minimum wage or close to minimum wage. I have one of those kind of jobs, okay? Some of you have that. How can you become wealthy? What would I do? First step I would do is I would increase my education level in order to be able to get a better job. Now, why? If I were already working at McDonald's, okay, I don't have much free time. I don't have much ability to invest in myself, right? Because I'm trapped in this job and it's a lot of work and I'm not developing any good skills in working that job. I want to get to a point where there's a little bit more breathing room. When I had Dan Locke on the channel, we talked about high paying skills, and one of them was, selling, closing, right? Sales, right? You could develop sales skills. Another one would be a software developer, right? You could save money. I would save up money and go to a developer boot camp. It doesn't have to be that. I could also do a job, learn a skill like copywriting, okay? I could go through the digital marketing courses and classes and learn to become a copywriter. Don't buy stocks. Don't put in a savings account and try to make interest on it. Don't buy real estate. You don't have enough money. You're not going to become wealthy doing that. The next thing I would do is, after I secured a better position where I have a little bit of extra money, is now I would make a decision here. This is where you have to kind of decide, do I want to make a lot of money going down the career route, or do I want to start building a business and making money that way? If you go down the career route, all right, you could take that money, like you could become very highly paid, and you could invest in real estate, and you could starting a business on the side as well, probably in the next 20 to 30 years. The other branch would be to say, okay, now that I have a little bit of breathing room, I have a little bit of money that I can spend, and I can pay for some courses, like to learn how to build a business, right? Or maybe get the Bulldog Mindset membership if you haven't already, and then just start building that side business while you're working the kind of okay job, the medium job. I won't call it a shitty job at this point, but you're okay. You're not like barely getting by. You're making a decent salary, so hopefully it's somewhat of a cush job. So you can start working on building the side business. Now notice that in order for you to become wealthy, all right, it's not going to happen. There is no path where you just get a really good job. Even if you have a job making $200,000 a year, you're not going to become wealthy. It's just not going to happen. It's going to take way, way too long. You're going to have to pay too much in taxes. You have to have something that is highly leveraged. Leverage builds wealth. There is no way to become wealthy without leverage. You'll either have to leverage your money, leverage your time, or most importantly, leverage other people's time. Building an actual business is the most effective way because you leverage other people's time. People work for you and they do more work than they produce more value than what you have to pay them in value, and that net you capture, and that's leverage. Okay, the more people you have working for you where they are producing more value than it is costing you to employ their labor, the more money that you make. The whole point would be on that second path would be that you're going to be broke for a while, but eventually you're going to build a business, and maybe in 5 years you'll start making a lot money, a lot more money than you'd make from your job, maybe $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year. That's quite possible with building a business. Let's say that I'm working at McDonald's, all right? Maybe what I can do, maybe I don't need to really have a job at all. Maybe what I can do is kind of collect unemployment and live in my parents' basement for a while I just build a business from scratch, and I just work full-time on that business. As much as that kind of sucks, and that would suck as a life, or maybe I can live on people's couches, right? If I can just do that, and I can do that for like a year, okay, suck it up for a year and just work 100% on building a business, okay? Maybe you're going to build a YouTube channel, or maybe you're going to start a blog, or a lot of different ways to build a business. But if I could just focus 100% on that, then after about a year, I'd be making more money from the business than I would minimum wage job at McDonald's, and I'd be out of the rat race essentially from the very beginning. That would actually be the choice that I would want to take if I could. To me, that's the smartest choice, okay? But it's also the most difficult choice. That's going to be a painful choice, okay? It's going to be really hard to do and very uncomfortable and very scary. In order to get wealthy, you must have leverage. For the effort that you put, okay, you get more than a one-to-one output, okay? So I put one input, I don't get one output, all right? Instead, I get 3, 5, 7, 10. Leverage is getting more for the same amount of work, at least in the context that I'm using it here. So if I leverage my time, that means I put in an hour of my time and I get 10 hours equivalent worth of work. That would be an example of leverage. How would you leverage your time? Well, there's a lot of different ways. One way is through technology. I'm a manager, okay? I'm running my company, all right? I can leverage by basically, and this, I guess this should be a totally different video, but so I'm not gonna go too far into this, but I can leverage by giving direction to delegating tasks to my employees, who then will do the tasks, and maybe they do 10 hours worth of work. It takes me 1 hour to tell them what needs to be done. You can leverage through your money, right? So I can give my money to the bank and they give me a pitiful interest rate, but more realistically, I can invest it in a company, in a stock, right? And get paid dividends on that, or I can invest it in real estate. I can take that money, I can leverage it in the sense of putting it into real estate, where I'm going to get a return from those tenants and from that investment opportunity. We need to have leverage in order to get wealth. And so if you're at a low-paying job, you need to get to a point where you can get leverage. So how do you get leverage? When you're just barely making it, when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you don't have any leverage at all. In fact, you've got negative leverage working against you, because if something goes wrong, your car breaks down, you're fucked. You go into the hole. Now you get a payday loan. Now you're paying interest. Now leverage is working against you. So we need to get out of that situation as soon as possible, and we need to get into a leverage producing situation. If you get a good paying job, right, you can leverage essentially your time and the little bit of money that you have to increase your skills to be able to make a lot more money, right? If you can go from a $20,000 or $30,000 a year job to a $60,000 or $70,000 a year job, that time and that money that you invest in that is highly leveraged, because now it's like having new technology. It's like having a riding lawnmower. Now for the hours that you work, you get paid 2 or 3 times as much. Business is the magic lever because you have the scale and the employees, right? You're able to leverage creating something. Okay, so for example, just right now, this YouTube video is leverage, right? Because I'm going to spend the time to talk. It's like I'm talking one-on-one to you, but it's going to get multiplied by thousands and thousands of people that watch this video. Okay, so that's leverage, okay? And I'm able to essentially sell something, right? You've heard me mention the Bulldog Mindset membership here, okay? And maybe you'll take the quiz, or maybe you'll just sign up okay, and I'm able to get multiple people to make money instead of talking one-on-one with each one of you trying to sell you a Bulldog Mindset membership, okay? That's the power of leverage right there. Okay, so business has that leverage also through employees. When you're able to spend, so many hours of your time, let's say that, your max output of the hours that of your skill and knowledge is worth, let's say maybe it's like $200 or $300 an hour, okay? Well, when you have a business and you have leverage, you can spend those hours, okay, to actually make a lot more, to multiply it, so you're making maybe $5,000, $10,000 an hour through the power of the internet and the syndication, the scalability of that, okay, of creating one product or one piece of content once and selling it multiple times, and through your team, right, by hiring people and using their time so that you're spending, maybe an hour of your time, like I said, in the example of managing employees and having them do 10 hours worth of work that gives you all that value. When you understand the concepts that I just told you in this video, you'll be able to understand how it is that you actually become wealthy, and you'll be able to understand that you can't just get there from a logarithmic or a arithmetic way, right? It has to be an exponential curve. You have to do things that have leverage in order to get there, because it's just not, there's no other way that you can do it. You cannot do it with your singular output alone. That's why most people aren't wealthy. If you're working at McDonald's, you're working some low-paying job, bullshit, there's no excuse, there's no reason, no fucking partying with your friends. Fuck that, okay? No drinking beers, no fucking any of the shit, no watching Netflix, none of that. You are dedicated to improving your skill set to make more money, okay? You don't need to go to college. Fuck that, okay? You can if you want to, but you don't need to. You just need to study something that is a high-paying skill set, okay? It could be, like I said, I gave you some examples, but you can find more. Copywriting, sales, software developer. For other people, it's the opposite. Let's just get out of the rat race. Let's just get a business. Let's just, build this thing because I want to be an entrepreneur. So it's up to you. You got to decide. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.